What I want you to understand that if it were not for the graciousness of God, because of the fact every one of us, we're undeserving of God's goodness, and we're undeserving of God's favor. I've never been good enough to make God love me, nor have you ever been good enough to make God love you. Not because you don't have certain elements that are nice as a person, but by the very nature that we all have, we are all sinners. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. There's a rebel living inside of you and me. And that rebel living inside of you and me is that thing that pushes against God. And so by nature, we're sinners, and by nature, we resist God and we rebel against God, but God still has shown grace and shown mercy to us, even though that we are sinners. And if it were not for the gracious nature of God, we would have no hope of a relationship with Him. Think about that for a moment. There's no way, because here is God up in heaven, and here we are down here on earth. This is us. And the problem is a really big problem between God and us, and it's with us. That problem is sin. Sin separates us from God. But because God is gracious, God now found a way to deal with sin. That's through the atonement of Jesus Christ. We could talk about that another time in another setting. But He's reached down to us, and apart from this very thing called grace, we could never have a relationship with God.